Today, we're tackling a topic that goes beyond us cat-loving adults. This one is a family affair, especially aimed at your younger children. We're deep diving into the importance of teaching kids how to properly interact and handle our feline family members. So what's the urgency here? Before we jump into these techniques on respecting your cat, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Teaching young children how to interact with and respect animals isn't just a matter of safety. It's an opportunity to instill crucial values like empathy, respect, and the nuances of consent and personal space. So you're not just preventing a scratch or a bite, you're raising a more compassionate human being. First on the agenda, let's get the kids to understand that deep down, every house cat is a little bit wild. Cats are creatures of instinct. They have this built-in fight or flight mechanism that's always on the lookout for danger. Any fast or overwhelming action can set off these primal alarms. So teach them that it's possible to avoid getting to this stage. How do you know when your cat is agitated? Well, your cat will give you plenty of signs along the way. As parents, it's important to teach kids cat language. The different sounds that your cat makes and their body movements speak volumes. It's how they communicate with you to tell you that they're getting too overstimulated. Once they're at that stage, you should stop. If you ignore these signs, well, then you risk a bite or a scratch. But don't worry, it's easy to learn cat language, and once you've mastered it, it works 100% of the time. From that point, all you have to do is observe your cat, and they will do the rest. For example, a rapid lashing tail, pinned back ears, or dilated pupils. Well, these are all red flags. They're warning you to back away. To teach this, you can make a fun game out of it. Have them guess what they think the signs mean. Let's start with the sounds they make when they're not happy. Some cats are vocal creatures, but they don't meow just for the sake of it. In fact, cats do not meow at other cats, just to their humans. So pay attention to your cat when they meow at you. They're trying to tell you something. The other sound cats make frequently is purring. Cats purr for a variety of reasons. There's no feeling quite like a contented cat sitting in your lap purring away as you pet them. Not only does your cat love it, but it's also proven to relieve stress in humans. But you need to pay attention because sometimes purring can mean distress or pain. For example, your cat might be at a vet visit and purring while being examined. So when your cat is purring, based on your surroundings and the cat's mood, try to be tuned into a pleasure purr versus a pain purr or a stress purr. There are some other sounds and behaviors that your cat can exhibit. There's hissing, growling, and spitting. These are universal signs that warn you to stop doing what you're doing and back off. I've heard my cats hiss and growl, mostly at each other, but I've never seen either one of them spit. Now let's spend some time talking about the tail of your cat, because it's one of the best ways to quickly pick up those early warning signs that your cat might be sending you. From the tail, you'll know when it's best to approach Kitty and when to stay away. Teach your kids that cats, like people, have different moods. There are times when we're in the mood to have fun, and there are times when we just want to be alone because we're tired. Sometimes your cat wants your loving hugs and pets, but other times, maybe he wants to be alone and groom himself. A cat's tail will tell you what mood your cat is feeling. When it's standing straight up high, that often signals confidence and happiness. Your cat is really saying, "Hello, I'm happy to see you." This is a great time for some hugs and kisses. Now, when the tail is tucked between their legs, this is your cat's way of expressing that they're probably scared or anxious. This is probably not a good time to initiate petting. Your cat would rather be left alone. But even if your cat's tail is standing straight up, don't stop watching that tail, because you can easily overstimulate your cat with too much petting. With most cats, there's a limit to how much petting you can do before the cat becomes overstimulated and wants you to stop. If you've been paying attention, your cat's been trying to tell you this. As you pet, watch the tail. If the tail is still, it's a green light. Keep petting. But eventually, your cat will get more charged up as you continue to pet it. so always watch the cat's tail. This was the single biggest revelation to me when I learned it, and I've not had a surprise bite or scratch since. By the way, drop down in the comments section below and share your experience with this. We can all learn from each other there. Now that we understand the signals our cats are sending us with their tails, we need to understand the best ways to pet our cats. My two cats are the same breed, but they're different sexes. My girl can't stand being rubbed on her back. She vigorously reacts by tensing up the muscles in her back when you touch her there. If I pet her on the side of her face, especially her ears, you can see she loves this, and she'll stay for a long time. That usually is when the purring starts. She loves to have her face, head, and ears rubbed so much, but really dislikes her back being touched. My boy is different. He doesn't mind being touched on his back. In fact, he kind of likes it. With him, I can pretty much pet him everywhere on his body without worrying. All I have to do is pay attention to the tail so I know when he's had enough. This brings up cat safe zones. Cats usually have three major yes, pet me there please areas: the head, the neck, and the back. Most cats will welcome being petted there. Now let's talk about what might be a sore subject to some cats: petting a cat's belly. Some like it and others really don't. The belly is a very vulnerable area on a cat. To understand this, let's again zoom out and understand why. Remember, every cat is a little wild, and in the wild, cats would never expose their belly. It could be deadly. Your domestic cat may love and trust you enough to roll over on his back in front of you, exposing their bellies, and that is a high compliment. That means that your cat trusts you enough that they'll expose their most vulnerable area to you without fear. But that doesn't mean that they want to be touched there. As you get to know your cat better, you can slowly experiment by some gentle pets on the belly. Sometimes little ones don't realize that they're being a little too rough. It's important, especially early on, that parents supervise the early interactions with children to understand that your pet cat isn't the same as a cute stuffed animal. They're living, breathing creatures just like us, with personal likes and dislikes. And, like how we show respect to other humans, we should also respect our animals' boundaries. Make sure that any introduction starts with a feather-like touch. In fact, you can turn this into a game. Challenge your kids to be as gentle as a falling feather with their touches. It'll also teach your children responsible pet ownership. Okay, now for the thing that most kids love to do with a cuddly cat: pick them up. Let's start with generalities again. Many cats, mine included, tolerate being picked up. Each breed and individual cat personality is different. My two cats are ragdolls. The ragdoll breed is famous for loving to be picked up. Well, neither of my cats are big fans. So much for breed generalization, right? This is why I consistently say that each cat has its own personality. When I pick up my girl and try to hug her, she uses her paws against my body to push me away. Very clear. My boy, he's more tolerant, but after a minute or so, he'll get fidgety and want to be put down. Because I know my cats tolerate it and don't love it, I don't do it too often. It's important that kids understand how to safely pick them up to avoid getting scratched. Before going in to pick up your cat, make sure the coast is clear. Check these cat language signs. First, is your cat's body open and inviting? Do their eyes seem relaxed? Are they leaning into your hand as you pet them? Those are all good signs. If none of that is true, then it's probably better to stop there. But if you're getting all the right signals, then you need to understand how to lift and hold the cat to make them feel safe. When you pick them up, make them feel secure in your arms. Put one hand under the front legs and one hand under the rear for stability. Make sure that your child knows that they're not picking up a sack of potatoes. This is a sure way to get scratched as your cat scrambles around to feel secure or more likely get away. If your cat isn't comfortable, they're going to struggle to move about. For example, if you're trying to hold a cat like a baby on its back, which is, by the way, highly discouraged. Now that we're close to wrapping up, let's bring in the P word: parenting. Parenting a cat isn't just cuddles and Instagram pictures. It's a long-term commitment, and I speak from experience here because almost 19 years ago, I adopted my first beautiful baby girl ragdoll kitten. Her name is Maxie. That kitten is still with me today and will be celebrating her 19th birthday in 2024, God willing. Instill in your kids the commitment and responsibilities of being a responsible cat parent. It's priceless spending time playing and cuddling your kitty, but that comes with a big responsibility. They are gorgeous, living, loving members of your family who rely on us to be the best cat parents that we can for them. There's regular feeding, grooming, and periodic vet visits that make up responsible parenting. Well, now you're armed with a treasure trove of information on how kids can and should interact with their cats. If you've made it this far, it shows that you care about the subject as much as we do. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share your cat parenting experiences here with us in the comment section below. Respecting cats, especially aging cats, is critical. Watch this video on how you can care for your aging cats, and I'll see you there.